Hello, hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley, and for the next hour here on Verbling, we are going to be learning vocabulary associated with illness and disease. Slightly morbid topic, but nonetheless, lots of concrete nouns to learn. In addition, we'll be looking at some common phrasing, colloquial expressions, and phrasings that we use to talk about disease. Okay, in any case, that's our subject matter for the next hour. Come on in and join the class anytime. Okay, we'll get started. We have a lot of material. So, hello, Heidi. How are you today?
Nice to see you again. Before I mentioned about happy bugs and New Year's kind of ceremony, many shops sold those happy bugs. Then even Starbucks, even though it's an American company, they sold Starbucks and happy bug. There are a long queue. They wanted to buy a happy bug, but first person bought all happy bugs.
That's funny. Cornered the market, set up their own shop outside, sold them for twice the price. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay. Anyway, hello, welcome to the class. Also been joined by Rodrigo. Hi, Rodrigo.
Hi.
I'm okay. Your audio's a little weird. Can you say something else? Yeah. You sound like you're standing like 10 feet away from your microphone or something.
Maybe he doesn't use headset.
Maybe. Rodrigo, are you using a headset?
Yeah.
Okay. That was better. Much clearer. Yeah.
Okay.
Better.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Anyway, welcome to the class. Okay, Ziad has also joined us. How are you?
Good. How are you? Okay.
Doing okay. Thank you. I'm doing all right. Okay. Let's get started. Again, plenty of room in the class if others would like to join us. Come on in. I'm going to share some material and we'll get started. Again, today's topic, we're going to learn vocabulary related to illness and disease. Okay, I want to start off. Whoa, what happened there? Whoa, infinity. +1. Okay, that's crazy. What happened there? Okay. Oh, that was weird. All right, let me try that again. Goodness, wrong click there. Okay, here we go. All right. I just want to talk about some of these phrases and words generally before you guys start doing some exercises. First of all, 1 in 3. I have got a cold. I think I've got flu. Okay. First general point when talking about illness, it is very common you can say I have a cold, just simply the verb have, or we see this have got construction also used very commonly to talk about illness. There's no difference between either one, and frankly, British English, American English, we both use both versions. It really doesn't change anything or make any difference as to meaning. One small thing with I've got flu here, number 3. Americans would generally use an article just like we do I've got a cold, I've got a flu. But apparently sometimes British do without the article. Slight difference there. Before I continue, Ziad?
Yes.
Yeah, your microphone's open and there's a little bit of crunchy sounds. coming from, I don't know,
Sorry about that. Okay.
weird little feedback things. Okay, no problem. Okay, another point in these first few sentences here I need to point out, talking about illnesses and so forth. The difference between aches, pains, and sore, and hurts. Okay, you can see examples of all of them here. In English, okay, we have some co-locations, actually words, like headache, toothache, stomach ache, which are standard. They're actually compound nouns. Stomach ache, headache, toothache. The words are actually together, one word as a noun. So it's common to use ache. On the other hand, other parts of the body, like back, I've got a sore back, I've got a sore neck. It's possible to say my neck aches, but it would be a little unusual to say I have a neck ache. I have an elbow ache. Okay, you really wouldn't say that. You would probably say I've got a pain in my elbow, or I've got a sore elbow. What's the difference between an ache, a pain, a sore? I have a pain in my elbow. Maybe I smacked my elbow. I hit my elbow on something. Sore, they can be used interchangeably, but sore often refers to the fact that you've over exercised. You're sore because you worked too hard or you exercised too hard. Generally, you use sore for that kind of pain. And you use the word pain, or my arm hurts, for something more like hitting your elbow, generally speaking. All right, have you got a temperature? The temperature of your body rises when you get a flu or an infection in your system, and your symptoms are what is wrong with you. For example, if you have a cold or a flu, you may have symptoms like a headache, a sore throat. Yeah, it's always a sore throat, not a throat ache. A sore throat. You might have congestion, the mucus in your nose and lungs is stuck up. Your nose is stuffed, so you're congested. You might have a runny nose, the opposite. You can't stop the mucus from flowing. Okay, those things are symptoms. Okay, so these are some of the very basic words that we always use to talk about illness and symptoms. Okay, let's look at some common phrasings, how we normally say we don't feel well. So a little mix and match exercise. Match the beginning on the left with the pair of endings on the right. Heidi, number 1.
I'm very well. No. I'm ill. I'm not very well.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm ill. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I am ill. Doesn't get any more straightforward than that. I'm not very well. You might also commonly hear a present continuous form. I'm not doing very well, or I'm not feeling very well. That would also be very common to, yeah. How are you doing today, by the way, Heidi?
Not bad.
Not bad. All right. Well, there's another way. The opposite. When you are feeling okay, how are you doing? Not bad. Oh, I'm not doing too bad. Well, again, sometimes I am not doing too bad. Sometimes you hear present continuous. Okay, let me quickly shout out, say hello to Nian.
Hi, teacher. Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you?
Yes, I am very good.
Okay. I am very good. Okay. Um, okay. In reality, I am very well.
Yes, I am very
Maybe
well.
better. Okay. Always remember as well, obviously talking about how we feel, well and good. It gets a little confusing, but try to remember that well is an adverb and good is an adjective. Okay, also Nicholas has joined us. Hello, Nicholas.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Okay, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Let me go to Rodrigo. What does two collocate with? Match
I
up with?
got a cold. I got the flu.
All right. Again, with the have got, very common to talk about an illness, not just cold and flu. I've got diabetes. I've got malaria. Whatever, any kind of disease. We often use the have got. Absolutely. Rodrigo, how are you feeling today?
I am very well.
Okay, I am
Very
very
fine.
well. Okay. Nobody's sick? Okay. Oh, come on. Somebody's got to be sick. All right, let's keep. What? Okay, I'll keep trying. Ziad, number 3.
I don't feel very well.
Okay. Or the other alternative, I don't feel too good. Okay, it's very colloquial, all right? But also, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good today. So and such, okay, another pair of words commonly used. Remember, we use so with an adjective. So, I don't feel so good. Okay, such is used with a noun. He's such a fool, like that. I have such a bad cold. So you could use such and so, but again, remember so with an adjective, such with a noun. Okay, Sam has also joined us. Hello, Sam.
Hello,
Welcome.
good morning.
Morning.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay. Number 4, Nian.
Yeah, I feel ill. I feel not very well.
Well, you would probably use the negative. I don't feel well. And, instead of I feel not well, that doesn't. Simple present tense, when we use a negative, we generally use don't. Do. We need the auxiliary do. So
Yes.
I don't feel well.
Yeah.
All right. So there's another choice here.
Oh, I feel terrible. I feel awful. Dreadful. Is it okay?
Yes. I feel a bit under the weather. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Here's an idiomatic statement, with or without a bit under the weather. I'm feeling under the weather today. What does that mean, Nian, if you're feeling under the weather?
I think it's maybe you sick feel tired unwell.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Maybe sick, like a cold. Maybe just really tired and run down. If you're run down, you have no energy. We often use under the weather when we have sort of vague symptoms. We feel a little bit achy. We don't feel right. Maybe a little tired. The kind when you're starting to get a cold, for example, possibly. Okay, we'll come back to that one in a minute. Let's talk serious conditions. Another mix and match exercise. Direct vocabulary here. We're going to match the condition on the left with the part of the body that is affected on the right. So, okay. Nicholas, let's start with you. If you have appendicitis, what part of your body does that affect? Sorry?
Appendix. My appendix.
Your appendix. Okay. I'm having a little problem hearing you, Nicholas. I'm not sure why. Okay.
It's why because I'm not.
You're cutting out. Are you there? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello? Nicholas, do you have an appendix? Yes. What function
Yes.
does your appendix do in your body?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not either. It really doesn't do anything. It's actually an organ in your body which has evolved into uselessness. We really don't use it anymore. Your body does not need it. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but occasionally it gets infected and you get appendicitis and you have to have it removed. I hear it's quite painful. I've never experienced it,
Yes,
but
I heard some people take out appendix even if they don't have any disease. I have a friend who took off his appendix just because the doctors thought that she didn't have anything.
Really? It's a little unusual. Usually you have appendicitis, it means that it's, I guess, swollen, or I'm not absolutely sure, or infected, and so it doesn't burst. They remove it. It's part of your digestive system. Okay, Sam. Tonsillitis. It affects what?
Tonsils, second one.
Of course.
Yes.
Tonsillitis.
Tonsils, yes. Tonsils.
Yeah. What are your tonsils?
Your, how we say that? Throat. Your tonsils.
Okay, in your throat. That's right. In the back of your throat.
Yes. And sometimes they are red in color, or sometimes they are swollen, little swollen.
Or has white bumps when if you have strep throat. Yeah.
Yes, it's very painful, especially.
That's right. Do you still have your tonsils?
Not yet. Not yet, but.
What do you mean? No, the question was, do
yes,
you
it's
still
happened.
have your tonsils?
Yes, I feel. Yes, I feel a couple of months ago. Yes, but one side. There are the two sides of throat, but that was only one side.
Okay.
Tonsils. Yeah, and yes, it happened, but right now, no.
Okay. I had tonsillitis, this disease, when I was 4 years old. I have no memory of it at all. I had my tonsils removed. I had surgery. Again, I don't remember anything about it whatsoever. I don't know what they did. They knocked me out. I have no idea. I was only 4 years old, but I have no tonsils. I'm tonsil-less.
Okay, great.
Right, great. I guess I haven't missed them particularly. All right. They appendectomy, they remove your appendix. Tonsillectomy, they remove your tonsils. Okay. Moving on, Heidi.
How we can write? Could you please write in the chat box?
What? Tonsillectomy? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. I'm not too good at writing doctor words, medical terms. I'm not so sure if I can do that. I'll try. Tonsillectomy, maybe? Oh my goodness, first try. That's impressive. Okay, that refers to the surgery. If you see that suffix, that TOMY, it's often a suffix used to describe a noun, which is surgery. All right, Heidi, number 3. Hepatitis. Yeah,
Blood.
blood, absolutely. As far as I know, there's different hepatitis. I don't know what they are. Hepatitis B, hepatitis C. I don't even know what that means. Do you?
Liver.
So it has to do with your liver.
Yeah.
Really?
And depending on the virus, different. C type.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
B,
do you know what? Okay,
B
go ahead.
is very dangerous. B type.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
People die immediately.
Is that right?
Yeah, and sometimes doctor got B type virus. For example, mistakenly picked their finger with a nail of injection.
Okay. With the needle.
With the needle, yeah. Then they got virus B type. C type, it's going slowly.
Okay. All right. And you can live with it? Okay. Yeah. All right. It's transmitted by the blood. That's how you catch it. It's a virus. I didn't even realize that much. But it actually affects your liver. Okay. I believe that. And your liver actually makes your blood. Right? Okay. All right. Well, I'm learning things too then. Rodrigo, number 4.
Asthma.
Asthma. Good. Good pronunciation. What does that affect?
Your lungs.
Yes. Okay. Rodrigo, do you know anyone who is asthmatic? Okay, and there's the IC adjective ending.
No. The kind of people, I think, the person who cannot breathe.
Yeah, it's a little strange. Okay, for example, my sister never had any breathing problems until she lived in the southern part of the United States in New Orleans, where it's very, very hot and humid, extremely humid. And this caused her to start having asthmatic problems, and she had problems with breathing, and she had to move. And once she moved out of this very, very humid and hot area, she was fine. My daughter had asthmatic problems when she was young. Whenever she got a cold, she'd have real problems breathing, really scary. Now she's a little bit older. She hasn't had any problems. Sometimes that happens. Little babies have asthmatic problems. Sometimes asthma develops. It's not necessarily you have it forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it develops, sometimes it goes away, depending on the situation. It's weird. I don't really understand asthma, what it is exactly. I think it can be.
You need to smoke.
Well, it can be triggered. Okay, when a disease like asthma, for example, or diabetes, we often use the verb triggered. So some of these kind of diseases you can have, and they're basically latent. They don't really have any effect on you unless they're triggered. So yes, asthma can be triggered by pollution or smoke, or like my sister, from high humidity, or from colds and flus that affect your lungs. So I guess there's a number of different things that trigger asthma. All right, continuing. Ziad, number 5. Ziad, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Yep.
An ulcer.
An ulcer.
Ulcer.
Okay. What part of your body does that?
Your stomach.
Very good. Your stomach. Okay. Any idea what an ulcer is? Is it? What is an ulcer?
I don't know exactly, but maybe it's like a pain in stomach or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the symptom. Okay. An ulcer causes a pain in the stomach. That's how a symptom is how you know you have some physical problem or an illness. That's right. It causes a pain in the stomach. Basically, the stomach's own acid starts eating the stomach in very simplistic terms. Again, I think there's different types of ulcers. And I don't have ulcers, so I have no idea. Ziad, have you ever known anyone who had an ulcer?
Not really.
Okay. I worked with somebody who had an ulcer. They had to be very careful about what they ate. Because, again, certain types of foods would trigger the ulcer. And so they had.
So it's mainly coming from the food and from
It's coming from the food, and it's also caused by stress.
Okay.
Very often. And, you know, we even say this in conversational English. Stop worrying so much. Don't stress out so much. You're going to give yourself an ulcer. So ulcers are also associated with stress. People that are too worried and stressed out can trigger an ulcer. Nien, number 6.
Your arthritic in your joint and bones.
Your joints and bones. Yes, arthritis is the disease. It has the adjective form with IC, arthritic. My grandmother is arthritic.
Yes,
okay.
Which it's easy see in the old people.
Yes, it's most often seen in older people. That's right. And their joints and bones start to experience a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Exactly. And again, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what causes it. Does anybody here know what causes arthritis? Or do humans even know? I don't even know.
Virus.
Is it a virus?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Really?
I think it's
My aunt was suffering with arthritis for long years. Finally, she died.
Okay. All right. The phrase that suffering with is also very common to describe, well, what she just described. Suffering with arthritis, diabetes, whatever. Okay, he's suffering with cancer. Very common phrasing. Thanks. I did not know it was a virus. Everything's a freaking virus. Damn those viruses. Damn them all. Okay. Anyway.
I think it comes by inheritance.
Genetic?
Yeah, exactly.
No. It came from virus.
It could be both. In point of fact, it could be both. It could be that you're genetically disposed to be vulnerable to the virus. So just to be fair, it could actually you could both be correct here. It's quite possible. I honestly don't know.
No,
okay.
If you say inheritance, it connect discrimination. You shouldn't say so.
What? I'm confused.
If it came from blood, it's kind of some discrimination. No evidence. Yes.
Okay. As I said, I don't know. Okay, but just to be clear, the English that I do know, Ziad, normally inheritance is something you inherit money from your grandmother,
So
or whatever.
It's kind of blood.
Right. Usually when you talk about DNA, you know,
even though it's not inheritance, but someone believes that it's a kind of discrimination.
discrimination. Why is that
Yes,
discrimination?
yeah, for example, if you got married with someone, her mother is suffering with arthritis, it's kind of discrimination.
Okay, I don't really see it that way. There's
Suppose even the daughter will get the same illness.
okay. Well, there are some illnesses that are genetic. I don't.
So it's not a genetic. No.
Genetic.
No evidence.
Okay, I don't know.
No evidence. You shouldn't say so.
Okay, I don't. Fine, Heidi. I'm sorry if you're offended, but for example.
No, it's offended, but we shouldn't say so.
Okay, all I said was I do not know. That's what I said. I said I do not know.
I learned about that because my aunt, only my aunt, not her family, only she. So I heard it came from virus.
Okay. All I said is I don't know. I just want to be clear on the English. I don't really care, actually. I just want to be clear. Inheritance, we usually talk about money and property that we get from somebody. Genetics, we talk about genetics, about biological DNA that's passed on. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, where are we here? Nicholas, number 7.
Okay, migraine, your head. See your head.
Yeah. Have you ever known somebody who gets migraines?
No, I've never.
No?
I mean the name, but not the illness.
Okay. Now, some people, this really is a disease. I mean, and again, I don't know what causes it. The last I knew, okay, I don't stay current on medical information. I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. But I don't know what causes it. And last I knew, nobody knows what causes it. But people use this, oh, I've got a migraine, just to say they have a bad headache. But if you have a migraine, you know you have a migraine. I used to have a co-worker, somebody I worked with, who would get migraine. And really, they looked like they were going to die when they got a migraine. And weird things trigger migraines. My coworker, my friend, bacon. If they ate bacon, I don't know what it is. If it's the nitrates or in bacon, or I don't know. I have no idea. But she loved bacon. But if she had like one piece of bacon, she couldn't work. She could barely stand up. Really, really painful, serious headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I've gotta go now. So thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Take care, Nicholas. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. See yous. All right. Bye for now. All right, Sam. Match the disease with their possible causes. All right. More diseases. What might it be caused by? Again, possible.
Yes. It's unprotected sex.
Okay, that is true. However, AIDS is more often spread by use of dirty needles among drug
Yes,
users.
as well. Of course, yes.
Yeah. Do you know what AIDS is? Obviously, this is an acronym, capital letters. Each letter represents one word. Do you know what the words are?
Maybe they are the abbreviation of 4 words. That's why they are in a capital letter, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, it is. That's what an acronym is. Okay, and the actual what it stands for. Hang on just a second. The actual disease is acquired with an A.
Yes.
Acquired
Acquired
immune
immune
deficiency
deficiency syndrome.
That's it. Okay. Obviously, extremely serious disease, relatively new, I guess. All right. Moving on, Heidi, number 9.
Typhoid.
Okay.
Dirty
Very good.
water.
Dirty water. Yeah. Okay. Typhoid. Have you ever known anybody who had typhoid?
Yeah. Some countries, they are still drinking dirty water.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, I've knew somebody who had typhoid, and the problem is that this is one of those diseases where once you have it once, it's easier to get it. You know, many things like colds or viruses, once your body builds an immunity, I don't know, chicken pox, measles. Once you have it once, then your white blood cells know how to, your immune system knows how to fight it. And so you're less likely or even impossible to get it later. However, typhoid is one of those diseases that once you get it, it's easier to get it again. Pneumonia is another one. Once you get pneumonia, it's actually easier to get it a second time or third time. I believe typhoid is like that. Okay, moving on. Rodrigo? Heart disease.
Number 10. Heart disease match with smoking.
Yes, that's true, and maybe one other one.
Stress.
Yes, that's right. Okay, heart disease is a major problem and a big cause of death around the world, many countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a big problem in your country, Rodrigo? Heart disease, stress.
Yeah, I think it's here in Argentina is main problem maybe because here is the country of the meat. So
Country of the meat. I know what you mean. Yeah, you're right.
it's fine. Yeah.
Is there a problem with obesity?
Obesity, no.
Okay.
It's not a real problem like United States, but maybe in a couple of years, yeah, maybe it could be.
Okay. Another main cause of heart disease, obesity, overweight. So it has many causes: stress, smoking, obesity, lack of exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of things can end up giving you heart disease. Heart disease is a very vague term. I mean, a lot of different things you can be talking about. Problems with how your heart beats. You could be talking about the arteries and veins that coming out of your heart that are being blocked. You could be. It's really, heart disease is a vague term that covers a bunch of different possible specific things that have to do with the heart. All right, Zid,
Yes.
number 11.
Okay, skin cancer. The sun.
Yeah. You know, I remember when I was young, people would lie out on the beach all day long to try to get tan. You don't see that very much anymore. Okay. All right. Now they don't want you to ever go in the sun without being protected. It's a lot different than when I was young. I don't know how old you are, Ziad, but now not so much. They want you to cover up all the time or use
the sun protocol. I don't know.
Sunblock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sunblock. What's the difference between suntan lotion, which really doesn't even exist anymore, and sunblock?
We use sunblock maybe before you stay on the sun, but maybe suntan lotion use it after.
I don't even know if people use suntan. You used to use suntan lotion to help yourself burn or turn brown. So you're trying to cook yourself. Sunblock is obviously to block or prevent skin cancer, prevent the sun. People don't even use suntan lotion anymore. You're thinking of more like if you have a sunburn, you would use sunburn cream or lotion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, or ointment, cream, ointment. All right, cream, ointment. Those are more medical. I mean, they are medical, not more medical. Nien, number 12.
Yes, malaria. Is is caused by a mosquito bite.
Okay, mosquito.
Yeah.
That's it. Mosquito bite. That's right. Here's a disease that gets very little publicity, I guess, but actually kills a lot of people every year. Do you have malaria in your country, Nian?
Yeah, I don't know who's died because of this of malaria. But I see on the TV many country have many people die by this
Yeah. And here where I now live in the Philippines, we really don't have malaria, but we have dengue. Have you ever heard of dengue? Yeah.
No.
Different disease, but also caused by mosquitoes. Yeah, it's common here. Actually, they're getting better at fighting it here, but still, it is very dangerous. See, yes, people get a very high fever. Most people are not going to die, but they're going to get really sick and probably have to be hospitalized for a couple weeks. Older people or very small children, unfortunately, are the ones who end up dying from dengue, usually. Okay, and the last one, lucky number 13. Sam?
Yes. Lung cancer, of course, by smoking.
Yeah.
And I would like to share about dengue.
Yeah.
Because in my country, yes, some places are really, really affected by this disease. Yes, and within a few days, that the people were died, and nobody knows the reason what was, because that was severely affected. You know that the mosquitoes, especially, they injure their liver in the affected person, in especially in blood, and you know that blood circulates very fast as compared to other things. Yes, so this happened here, but they are not spread very fast, but people are affected and they die within 1 week. That was so seriously, yes, affected here. But right now they are trying to control places. They are affected into that. But this happened.
Yeah. Okay, it affects the blood in the liver, which can break down very fast. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I actually knew somebody here in the Philippines that had dengue, and it was a coworker, not somebody I worked with directly, but I remember that they were out of work for I don't know, like 2 weeks, but they were hospitalized for like a week.
Yes, if you
Very serious.
yeah, if somebody diagnoses, for example, doctors know about that they're affected by a mosquito and declare the disease dengue. Is it right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
So
saying right.
they can control. Yes, because they have some medications and how we say that uh, uh, the specific kind of medicines. They have a specific name. Yes. So
Yeah.
of course they will cover, but it's nobody knows. For example, some places people are really poor and they don't know about that. They if they were affected. So this happened. Yeah.
Yeah, the symptoms imitate the symptoms. What happens to you imitate a flu. So people don't realize they have dengue until it's too late, quite often. That's exactly the problem, what you're saying, especially in remote areas, people think they have a flu. And yeah, that's exactly correct. All right, you use the word
ulcer. Okay, could we explain about the lung ulcer, lung cancer, because they are affected the smoking, but people who affected by the lung cancer here in my country, some people they really didn't smoke in whole life.
That's right.
Yeah.
People can die from lung cancer without smoking. That's
yes, can die, right.
There may be other factors, pollution, for example, or somebody who works in a coal mine. Of course, that's a very, very dangerous job. Lung cancer is a huge danger because you're working in a coal mine. There's tons of particulates and little tiny, tiny pieces of coal floating around in the air, and it's very carcinogenic. If something is carcinogenic, it is known to cause cancer. Carcinogenic, again with the IC ending, adjective. Right, so somebody who works with carcinogenic material is also has a very good chance of getting lung cancer. Sam used the word diagnosis. She used it correctly to talk about if there's a diagnosis of dengue, the person can be saved. Yes, yes, very true. A diagnosis is when the doctor decides what you have, what's wrong with you. Okay, and a prognosis, sometimes these two words get confused. The prognosis is what the doctor thinks will happen to you. You have 3 months to live, you should recover in 2 weeks. That's the doctor's prognosis, as opposed to his diagnosis. Okay, new exercise here. Match the symptom on the left with the cause on the right. Okay, symptoms and causes. Heidi, number 1.
I've got blister. I wore the wrong shoes to go hill walking.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Okay, blisters can be caused by, sure, wearing the wrong shoes and something rubbing on your skin repeatedly can cause a blister. Heidi, what else can cause a blister?
For example, some work on cutting the wood or something a long time. We have a blister on our fingers.
Yes, absolutely. If you're chopping wood and you don't use gloves, yes.
Even I write a lot of things with the ball pen. I have a blister between the fingers.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of writing.
Yeah,
much. All right. If you played guitar for 48 hours straight, you'd probably get blisters. Also burns. Okay. Foolishly, for New Year's Eve celebrations, I was holding one of those little sparklers, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and the stupid sparkler burnt my finger, and I got a big blister on my finger. Yeah, that's where the water underneath your skin forms a little pocket, a little balloon of fluid under your skin. That's a blister. So burns can definitely cause blisters. Rodrigo, number 2.
I got a headache match with A. I think I've been working too much.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Maybe another one.
Another one.
As well.
I had too much to drink
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah. Okay. What's that called if you've had too much to drink and then you got a headache the next day? You have a what?
Headache.
A headache. First of all, ache has a K sound. But in English, a hangover.
Hangover.
All right, a hangover. If you got a headache, or you're feeling really, really tired, or even sick to your stomach. But yeah, all those things. Maybe you have a hangover, drinking too much the night before. Hangover. Maybe you have a headache because of stress, and that's, I know, your idea of working too much. That's true. Some people get headaches due to stress. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. Zed, number 3.
I've got jet lag. It was an 18-hour flight and a 10-hour time difference.
There you go. Have you ever had jet lag, Zed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was traveling from Tunisia to United States, it's a 13 hours flight, so I had a jet lag.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving from time zone to time zone, usually, you know, bigger differences, like you said, 13 hours is a 13-hour flight. There you go. So you're not used to the time zone, so you feel tired and you feel like your clock is not.
Yeah, it's a 7 hours difference.
7 hours, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate. I mean, I'm from United States, East Coast, and the Philippines. It's exactly 12 hours difference. It's exactly the other side of the planet, so I get all messed up. I can relate.
You lose one day.
Yeah. But then I move back into the future later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4, Nien.
I've got a bad back. It's because our bed is too soft. We need to get a firmer one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's probably the best answer. Yeah, if you're not sleeping on the right bed, it can hurt your back. One thing, Nien, pronunciation. Okay.
Yeah.
Bad. Okay. Sometimes we have a vowel sound after the D, so that we can understand it's a D. Instead of a T, because a T is voiceless. We want to emphasize that this is bad. I have a bad back.
Bad. Yeah.
Bad. Duh.
Yeah. Bad.
Bad back. Yeah. So, especially when a word that ends with D is at the end of a sentence, or you're saying one word only that ends with a D, or where it's a collocation like this, it's pretty important that you are clear about what word you're using. Bad back, bad back, bad back. Okay, but not bat back.
Yes, bad back.
Okay, that's better. Okay, moving along. All right, Sam, number 5.
I'm feeling really run down. Run down means.
Okay. Tired in a long-term kind of way.
Okay, run down.
Lacking energy.
I think I have been working too much.
Yeah, probably.
All
right, you're working too much. You're not getting enough sleep. You can feel run down if you've had too much to drink as well. But okay, run down means really not just tired today, but tired like long-term tired. Like you're tired every day for 3 or 4 days in a row. That's when you use run down.
Means every day when I come from my work, I say that I'm feeling run down. Is it right?
Yeah, it means like even when you go to work in the morning, you feel really tired. At lunch, you feel really tired. After dinner, you feel really tired.
Yes, and especially you didn't sleep very well.
Yeah, often caused by a lack of sleep, yes. Or stress, or working too much. Yeah. Heidi, number 6.
I've got Splinter in my hand, and I've just been chopping some wood.
Okay, very good. What's a splinter?
Small piece of wood.
Yeah. Sometimes we also say a sliver. Oh, I got a sliver in the bottom of my foot. Get the tweezers and pull it out. Yeah. It's a very tiny wound, but it's kind of painful until you remove it. Yeah. Yeah.
Even I was cutting an eggplant. Eggplant have some thorn. You know that?
Eggplant?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever experienced a splinter from eggplant.
Yeah, sometimes I got that thorn from eggplant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I got again part of my New Year's Eve fun. I got a blister on my finger from fireworks. I got a splinter in my foot the next day because a bottle had gotten broken and there was a little tiny piece of glass and I stepped on it. So I got a sliver of glass in my foot. Usually a splinter is wood. A sliver can be anything: wood, metal, glass.
We use disposable chopsticks.
Yeah.
We got it.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I use chopsticks sometimes too, and I've definitely gotten a splinter from chopsticks, which really makes me mad. Really. Yeah. Yeah, I hate that when that happens. You should make these better. Stupid bamboo chopsticks. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Heidi saying about the eggplant. You know that sometimes eggplant have very material that they, especially when you cut some, for example, vegetables, eggplant, and this especially people who are very sensitive, and they affect these material they coming from the eggplant, or it might be cause of splinter. Yes. So you know, sometimes vegetables are very have very toxin material, or we can say that are very very sensitive people. They are affected by this material. I don't know the exact word, but it's happened, especially when you are cutting something.
Yeah, I've never had that problem with vegetables. Occasionally seafood, like working with crab or shrimp, you stab yourself with a little piece of the shrimp or the piece of the crab, and that can get easily infected. That's not a splinter, or not normally, because it doesn't actually stick under your skin, but you stab yourself or poke yourself, sometimes with seafood or bones from fish as well. And for me, that sometimes causes a problem. We're out of time. Real quickly, if your nose is blocked up, maybe you have hay fever. That means you can't breathe because the mucus has kind of filled or packed your nasal cavities and you can't breathe. The opposite is you have a runny nose. You can't stop the I keep saying the mucus from coming out. I've got diarrhea. Well, I really don't want to talk about this too much. I think we all know what this is. It must have been that takeaway last night. All right, something you ate. Okay, digestive problems. So your food isn't staying with you or in you very long. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
And if you drink too much, so
Possibly, if you drink too much, yeah. For me, if I drink too much apple juice, it has that effect. Okay. Too much spicy food, definitely. Too many hot chili peppers can have that effect.
of course.
Definitely. And Sam, you're right. Sometimes when we have diarrhea, to be, I don't know, polite, maybe because it's embarrassing to talk about, sometimes we just say, I have an upset stomach today. Which is sort of diplomatically saying I have diarrhea. That's absolutely true. Okay. Thank you very much, guys.